Hi, I'm Harish Koteti and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about a very important topic, which is really how do you select the right AWS storage option for your small business. So let's get started. For people who don't know me, I'm Harish Koteti, founder of Cloud Optimize. I help small businesses move to the cloud with AWS, and I actually educate them on how to pick the right AWS strategy for their business. So let's move on to today's topic on how to select the right storage option for your business, small business. So first, let's look at the portfolio of AWS services, right? So storage services. The biggest challenge with small businesses adopting AWS is the kind of options that are available with AWS. They get confused because small business owners, I understand that you don't have time. You are so busy trying to do so many things. You don't have enough time to research and do all that stuff. At the same time, when you hire an expensive consultant, you probably end up paying so much for the consultant, and you're not still not sure whether what they suggest is the right thing for your business. So my purpose, my goal for this video is to distill all the noise, basically, and give you very simple options that are good enough, that will take your small business, can help also help you scale your small business with the options that I'm going to share today. So you have different options, like you have core storage services, you have edge and hybrid cloud storage services, you have data transfer and migration services, data protection services. So don't worry about any of these things. I'm going to explain it in very simple terms on what exactly you need to focus on. So that's what I'm going to share right now. So let's start about very simple fact, right? What do you need? If you need a regular storage where you want to, like, just like OneDrive or Google Drive, where all your business stuff needs to be stored, secured, encrypted, and with only the right people can access it, then it's called AWS S3. So what the difference, and also we'll talk about the next option, but AWS S3, the benefit is you can access it through web browser, and S3 integrates with a lot of other business applications. For example, if you are using Power BI to go ahead and build reports, then you don't have to download the data and feed it. You can just connect to S3 bucket and use that data to build your reports. That's one example. So there's so many use cases where AWS S3 can integrate, and you can leverage the data without having to make multiple copies and increase your storage costs. So that's one big benefit of AWS S3, because it integrates with the browser. So the next thing is, I mean, most small businesses use Windows machines and they need a network storage. And the other option that we have for it is Amazon FSx for Windows, where you get typical Windows file share, and that's elastic. That means it grows as you continue to increase your storage. So you don't have to pay anything upfront. You get an your secure storage option that integrates with your Windows on Windows machines in your business, and users can access it with the data is encrypted, and yeah, with all the permissions and security that you can that you can that you probably even need. So that has so many options that you can choose from. So that's a regular storage. So just remember these two names, and that's pretty much it that you need to know. Next thing is EC2 storage. So if you are using EC2 machines on Amazon, on AWS, then think about, there are two options. One is AWS EBS, which is elastic block storage. Think of it like additional hard drive. So how much space do you need on that server, right? So that is what it really is about. The hard drives, if that's block storage, you just keep adding the block storage, and it's scalable as well. It can you can increase the size of those block storage when you need, right, or add another hard drive. So think of it as an additional hard drive on that machine. The second thing is, if your business have a combination of Windows and Linux machines, and you want to figure out which storage network share option is better, then I recommend using Amazon AWS EFS, elastic file system, because I mean, there is also Amazon FSx for Linux. There are so many things. It's just that you don't want to complicate things, just go with EFS, and that will help you with both Windows and Linux operating systems if you have a combination of those in your business. So that's the EC2 storage, that is the machine storage. The next thing is compliance. So if your business is dealing with compliance, like you have to store data for like 7 years or 6 years or whatever it is, or things like that, then you have S3 Glacier storage options. You have in S3 Glacier, you have deep archive, instant retrieval. So there are the different options, but you just need to remember the name S3 Glacier because that's really most used to store your core data, archival data, compliance data, that that you don't need to touch it, right? So it also um, you know follows a warm model like write once and read many time model as well. So yeah, that is, and you can lock the object, you can lock those your files so nothing can be modified to meet your compliance standards. So that's S3 Glacier, right? So if you have compliance needs, the next one is again backup. So most small businesses use cloud products like SaaS apps, and they believe that the backup is being managed by the vendor, which is true in most cases. But I strongly recommend building your own centralized backup, and AWS backup service does a very good job of it. And backup, and also that meets your complaints needs, that you can say, hey, if things go wrong, we can restore everything in our business within let's say 45 minutes or 1 or 2 hours, right? So that if that is one of our compliance requirements, you can go with AWS backup service. So as you see, filtering them out, these are the only things that you need to remember for a small business. There are so many storage gateways, there are so many other things that are like for more like medium to enterprise, right? So these should be sufficient for you to build a good build a strong storage foundation with AWS. So now that we know how to pick a storage option. Now let's think about how do we move the data there, right? So we need to transfer the data to AWS, and now let's think about how do you do it. So there are only there's so many options. Again, I'm going to share with you only two that you need to remember. One is AWS Transfer Family. So when do you want to pick AWS Transfer Family? For example, if you do recurring transfers like every day or every week or every schedule recurring transfers, and you want to automate them, that's one way. Then if you have B2B file transfer, let's say your clients are constantly uploading files. For example, you are in a healthcare industry, which is a regulated industry, and all your agencies are uploading files every day to a central location or something like that. Those workflows can be automated and using the AWS Transfer Family. So remember, recurrence transfers, regulated industries, automation, then think about a transfer family. So now the next one is AWS Data Sync. So what it really means is, if you want to lift and shift your data to AWS, okay, now you move from you move from Google Drive or local hard drives, right? So you want to move to AWS, then you use Data Sync to sync your, to lift and shift your entire data to AWS as one time. And it is also used to manage hybrid storage workflows. What it means is, let's say you have some storage on it, on AWS or some other cloud, some files or storage on in either locations, then this is the right choice. So this is very important. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope this video is useful. So subscribe to this channel because I'm going to share a lot of content on AWS and AWS options for small businesses. Thank you.